minutes early for this, dude. I know, but like, we're gonna do our thing, and yeah, we'll have Sunday just free for activities. All right, that sounds great to me. What is up, everyone? And thank you for checking out Don't Say the F Word. We are a pro wrestling and combat sports podcast. We do not use the F word when we talk about professional wrestling. Shouldn't let your friends use it either. I'm Mark the Monster. I'm the leader of the PWO. If you're wondering how I have this very masculine, jacked physique, it's Pure Plank. I do a lot of planks, and if you go over to pureplank.com, use our promo code Don't Say the F Word, you can save yourself some money, and you can get abs of steel. I got a six-pack. Just can't see it because I like baggy shirts. I'm not sure if that's right, but, I mean, that's fine. That works. Yeah, so go over to Pure Plank. You can use our promo code. You can save some money. Yeah, that's awesome. Also, we are brought to you by our own damn merch. Hey, dude, what? I'm just saying, we're brought to you by our merch. You can go to our merchy-ass site. You can buy some stuff. It's got my face on it. If you buy it, we use the profits from that. We donate to local dog shelters. We help dogs with that money. We don't give all that money to Joe. It's true. I'm not one to judge. Good amount of my money goes to coffee, but yeah, it's not Joe's coffee money. Could it be money? No, it can't be your coffee money either. If it's not Joe's, it's not yours, it's not mine. It goes to the dogs.
I need
all right, Joe, you been planking?
No.
That's how I plank. It looks a lot better when I'm using a Pure Plank board, though.
Nah, I bet.
All right. Anything else, Mark? I'm not going to WrestleMania 43, I guess.
Why not? You could get over there free of charge.
You think? I don't know what a plane ticket costs to Saudi Arabia, but I'm pretty sure.
No. I'm pretty sure you could just sneak in somebody's bag or box and just get in there scot-free.
I don't know. I bet it's pretty hot over there.
What you worry about? You ain't gonna sweat. You don't never sweat.
But I've also never been in a desert, Joe.
You been outside? Have you in the sun? I know it's been warm outside.
It has been warm outside. Yeah. I'm never sweating.
See, baby. Look, you been.
You know who else never sweats? Your sister. She never sweats.
Well, there are some people where they can't sweat. Nah, that's not weird. My mom never sweat, so I can see that. Yeah.
You know who sweats all the time?
A big guy, maybe.
Yeah, big guy over here.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Like, is it like bad or just like here and there?
It's a lot. He's at the gym. It's a lot of sweat. It's kind of gross.
Oh, that's different. He at the gym though. That's different. I thought you.
Yeah, I'm working out. I mean, I should be sweating at the gym. I mean, it's not like I show up to the gym sweaty. I just happen while I'm there. Your sister said some people do. Some people show up to the gym just funky. That might be a whole different conversation.
I think the ones that show up funky just come up funky, leaving work, and then just work out, then take a shower there.
Oh, you think that's it? You think they're leaving work and hitting the gym? That's pretty gross. What's the angle you got this camera at? Dude, I'm fixing it. Leave me alone.
Nah, I know a couple people who would, like, let's say work, but when they had the 24-hour Planet Fitness, they would do like work third shift, jump, go to gym, take a shower, go home. Or they would do gym.
Your sister said those people should be wearing deodorant to work. Like, there's really no cop out for, just having all day funk.
Or, don't stand under the fan.
You know what? I should figure out a deodorant sponsor for our podcast. Because, wrestling fans as a whole aren't always the most pleasant smelling humans.
That is true.
You realize you're going to impact some viewership here, right? You know what? I do realize it, and I'm going to go hard in the paint on this, and I'm going to offend some wrestling fans right now. Before you do that, you guys just go and buy some of our merch. That'd be great, because you're probably never going to tune in again after this. Listen, man, some wrestling fans just smell a combination of whoppers under their armpits and unwashed ass. And they got to stop doing it.
I can say this just from my personal experience. This ain't gonna get posted, is it? I don't think you should post this. Nah, don't post it.
Nah, man. Weekend wrestling show, I think it needs to go to YouTube, and we need to try to offend as many wrestling fans as possible. We're going to call this a grandpa rant. Me and you, we're just going to go hard in the paint on shit, Joe.
All right.
We're brought to you by Fear Plank. We're brought to you by Virtual Reality Combat. That's all we really need. They're not going to bail on us no matter what we say.
Okay, cool. Great, cool.
Okay, Mindy said it's got to be dad rant because we ain't got grandkids. We can't be grandpas yet.
Okay.
In the event that I ever am going to become a grandpa, though, because you know how grandparents can pick their own name, I'm making them call me the tribal chief.
Okay. That's not bad. But I'll be lucky if I be alive. I have a grandchild, y'all. So.
Yeah, Joe, you got started a little late in life. If you make it, that's going to be a shocker.
Hey, I'm just throwing it out there, y'all. I'll be lucky if I'm alive.
All right, Joe, let's hear it. Okay. Wrestling fans got funky armpits.
Here we go. Okay, I don't know what it is, but it's always the trailer park looking like white folks that come up in there dressing all big and I'm throwing it out there. Sorry, y'all. But anyhow, you could just smell it. Like, I don't know. You could be like, there was like 2 rows in front of me one time, and you could literally smell them from right there. And the people that was beside us, we all was complaining, but we could not get them out because they pay hard dollars for the ticket. The worker said there's nothing they could do. They tried to get them out, but
they tried to remove them for being stank.
I mean, they was that stink. Like
I didn't know it was a possibility.
Think of it like. Think of it like somebody. Think of it like a shirt you ain't washed in a couple of days, but you know it had sweat on it, and the sweat smell made it strong. And then you got that trash, like 2 garbage bags of trash, just sitting there waiting to pick up from the garbage man. That's how bad it was.
So, I just want to say that my experience around funky ass wrestling fans does not know a racial limitation, because I have found myself in lines at wrestling shows next to, like you said, trailer park looking white folks, smell like hot garbage and unwashed ass. I have been in lines at wrestling shows next to very funky black dudes with, only way to describe that breath is straight halitosis. That was at an AEW show, and I'm telling you, Joe, I was legit 9 feet away from this dude. Other people between us, and I could smell his whispers. Also, I've been in line next to some very musty-ass Hispanic folks at wrestling shows. So it is not limited to trailer park white people, but they are some of the biggest culprits. Maybe they just dominate the crowd, though, because maybe there's just more white, trashy white people at a wrestling show than other races.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot, as your sister has said, a lot of very dirty-looking trailer park white people look like they may have just climbed straight up out the mud.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like.
I just want to let everyone know that these are the kind of people Jeremy specifically does not allow me to interact with at wrestling shows. Doesn't let him touch me. Keeps my fur nice and clean. There have been times he has seen some people who look nasty, and he has hidden me. Mindy said Cedar Point ain't no better.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just telling you that one day, like, you could just the worker. They literally said there's nothing they could do. They paid for the ticket, even though they said they needed a valid reason to get them out, not just because of the way they smelled. And
Who
then
went
they
and
said
complained?
there's a lady and her son that was sitting like right beside us and behind me, a family. And they asked us, what is us? I said, it's going down. And then the lady, she went and talked to the worker because she just said it was just so disgusting. The worker said he really couldn't do nothing because they paid for their ticket. They're not causing any harm or bothering anybody. It just
I'm gonna say that's causing harm. I'll be honest. I think being stinky at a wrestling show is in fact causing harm.
And he said the only way they could kick them out if they was to cause like interaction damage or screaming at people, in which they didn't. So we had to sit about 3 hours. 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours.
Now, Panther joined us live on Instagram on a Sunday morning. Panther, me, Joe, and Mark, we're taking them to church this Sunday morning. We're talking the need for deodorant at a wrestling show. I am going to see next wrestling event that I go to, if I can get a sponsor, to hook me up with some deodorant and body spray to bring with me to hand out in line before we get into the show. Do you think that goes over well, or do you think that goes over poorly? I think it should be accepted. If I stink, I want someone to tell me.
I say this. It should be appropriate because you got to think.
Your sister will, too. She'll tell me in the middle of the gym, hey, you smell sweaty. I know. I'm sweating.
Just think about this. There are probably people, parents, who literally just get off of work at 4:30, bam, gotta go run home, pick up the kids, don't got time to change or nothing. They'll be in their little work clothes, whatever. Hey, CVS, boom, driving to Cleveland or whoever, going to the arena. They ain't got time to change because then you'll be stuck in what? We'll say hour traffic getting there. Then you gotta wait another 40, 30 minutes just to get in the dang building.
Man, I don't know. Joey, I feel like you're trying to justify people stinking at a wrestling show.
I'm justifying like, hey, if you got like a average guy.
God, Mindy just said they got to pick one smell. You can't go walking around smelling like feet, armpit, and ass. You got to pick one. Good morning, Trunks. We are live on a Sunday morning, taking you all to church, talking about, we're going to recap the weekend wrestling. We're going to talk about the state of WWE. But right now, Joe and I are somehow going hard in the paint, talking about the need for deodorant and body spray at wrestling shows. Trunks, you are the proud owner of a comic book shop, so I have a feeling that you have a very personal interaction with a lot of folks who are trapped in the nerdosphere of, some interesting hobbies that tend to somehow link themselves to people with body odor. I don't know why it happens with some of the coolest hobbies and coolest interests people could ever have, but somehow pro wrestling, comic books, anime seem to have a fan base that does not appreciate body spray and deodorant as much as it should.
Keep it real, but that's a good one. Keep it real.
Oh, Trunk says he keeps Febreze on hand. Smart man. And you know what? Hey, there ain't no shame. Sometimes, hey, and Joe, you talking about people working hard, getting sweaty at work and got to go do a thing. There is nothing wrong with Febrezing the ass of your jeans before you go and do something. Febreze yourself. Febreze yourself frequently. Use body spray often. Keep deodorant in your pocket. Something. You don't go around smelling like unwashed ass. Need more than Febreze. They can only fight so much. Hey, man, they sell Odo Band. Is it a crime to Febreze someone against their will? I don't really know. If there's any lawyers in the crowd, drop it in the comments. if I'm going around Febrezing wrestling fans at a show, do I stand the potential to catch an assault charge? Or is it just a public service? The world may never know.
I can say this. I say this. There was one time I Febrezed a kid.
Wait. You Febrezed a kid? Like a kid, like one of your daughter's friends, a kid? Or like
no.
a co-worker somewhere?
Okay. Remember at BW3, I met y'all up there one time. I brought a kid with me, a little girl with me to watch the pay-per-view.
I do not remember this.
Okay.
It's an important thing to consider, folks. Whenever we used to venture out to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch UFC pay-per-views, I spent a good chunk of that decade walking around with concussions.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah. So I told my friend I was going up there to watch the pay-per-view. Her daughter wanted to tag along with me, and then your daughter and her, they talked. But before we left, I ain't gonna say the person's name, but anyhow, they were like their house smelled completely like cigarettes to the T, to the max. The moment you walked in the house, you could smell it. So I told her, yeah, let's go. So I said, don't be mad at me. She's like, what's this? I said,
You know, man,
I said,
that
I don't want
cigarette
nobody,
stink is a rough one, too.
I said, I don't want anybody to say nothing bad about this. So
So you Febrezed her before you brought her with you?
I breathed in the car. Like we left the house, got around the corner. I said, don't be mad at me. Like
Joe Febrezed someone else's child, ladies and gentlemen.
I said, I don't want nobody to say nothing bad. Like you're like smoke all to the T, and I don't want nobody to get on your case. So I'm just like looking out for you, being a good uncle. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
that's good Uncle Joe right there. You know, sometimes you gotta Febreze the children. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Panthers asking if we watched the Canelo fight. Big W Crawford. I tell you what. If you would have asked me to put money on someone in that fight, my money was not going on Crawford. My money would have gone on Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
But I would have lost money. There's no need to run that fight back. Crawford won. Like, he controlled that fight. And Canelo said he couldn't figure out the style Crawford had. Just couldn't figure it out. I reached out to a friend of the show, Austin No Doubt Trout, who has fought Canelo. And he fought Canelo when Canelo was Canelo. And where would your money be, man? His money was on Canelo. Crawford surprised a lot of people.
That's why.
Didn't surprise Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather put $50,000 on Crawford.
Ooh. I said Money Mayweather. He knows his stuff.
Canelo said that Crawford is better than Mayweather after fighting him. Interesting stance. I don't know if that's going to be universally accepted. I'm sure Floyd Mayweather will certainly say otherwise. But Floyd Mayweather is about to fight Mike Tyson.
April 2026.
Yeah, Floyd is pro at being on the back foot. That's for sure. Floyd, I've said it so many times on our show, and I've said it in so many interviews with fighters. Floyd Mayweather is the exact blueprint if you were going to design a boxer for the sport of boxing. Big difference between being a boxer and a fighter. I wouldn't call Floyd Mayweather a fighter. Talking all this boxing, just a reminder, virtual reality combat, friend of the show. I recently did some commentary work for virtual reality combat. So you can go follow them on Instagram. The YouTube channel will be started soon. So if you want to get into the world of virtual reality boxing, go get a Meta Quest 3 or 3S and download Boxing Underdog, and you can step into the ring in virtual reality combat. Maybe Big J and Joe do commentary over one of your fights someday. They are going to be doing tournaments, tons of stuff. our merch site may end up being the home of their merch. So we'll see what happens.
There you go. There you go.
There we go. So, you don't got to take concussions anymore to get the thrill of fighting. And that's why I'm really enjoying boxing in VR.
Okay. So is that on? Can that be hooked to a MetaQuest 2? Or does that be 3?
Boxing Underdog, will it play on MetaQuest 2? I don't know. Let's ask Google.
Because I know one of my friends is trying to sell his little Quest 2.
Is Boxing Underdog able to be played on a MetaQuest 2? According to Google AI, yes. Only difference I think you would have is that the Quest 2 doesn't have a pass-through mode. So you would have to you can only do the actual virtual world. You can't do your own environment, but seemingly you can play the game. So that's cool.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Panther says failure to analyze strategies, stamina, and problems here and there, giving him a lot of positions for opportunities. Yeah. Trunk says shoots a double leg and game over. Man. I'm not going to lie to any of you. Some of my ventures into VR fighting and the VR boxing realm, and I instinctively want to kick. I have it's my instinct. There's a lot of combos that are ingrained in my muscle memory from more than a decade ago of my time fighting, where, man, a lot of my exchanges was you get in with a kick, get out with a kick. And I find myself instinctively wanting to throw kicks. Well, which, hey, here's a great thing. The Quest isn't going to pick up what your legs do. Your movement is all from your head. Your legs can do whatever they want. So you can throw a check kick in there. No one's going to be the wiser. It's just you. Cuban Gorilla, join us. Cuban Gorilla, we are talking the need for deodorant at pro wrestling shows. We're talking about the world of virtual reality boxing. Our friends over at Virtual Reality Combat, Cuban Gorilla, you may be interested. I know you've done some boxing. So if you get yourself a MetaQuest and Boxing Underdog, you can connect with our friends over at Virtual Reality Combat, share some fights, and maybe make it onto one of their shows. And look, me and Joe may one day do commentary over one of your fights. Yeah. In Boxing Underdog, you can kind of clench up a little bit. It's kind of interesting. So the way it reads with your joysticks and the headset, you can kind of clench up and you can kind of land some rabbit punches and get out. It's interesting. It's a little surreal how realistic it is to a good, decent sparring session where you take no damage. Getting rocked in that game is kind of weird. You get a different sound in your ears and the camera shakes a little and you end up kind of looking down. So I will physically mimic the movement that it's having my character do in the game just to give you that better sense of realism and immersiveness. Let's see. Circle back. Deodorant at a wrestling show. I gotta find a deodorant body spray sponsor for next time we attend a show.
Old Spice.
See, I can get Old Spice.
Everybody been leaving out old
I
Spice.
almost think you need defense soap because I think a lot of these folks are walking around with ringworm. Bunch of dusty little bastards got ringworm. Man, whenever I was fighting, there was a dude at the gym, just stunk all the time. It was bad. My coach wouldn't make him leave either. Tried to get my coach just like, dude, just kick him out of the gym. Don't let him train here. It's like, nah, man, he's paying me. I'm like, don't ever make me work with him. If he gives me a staph infection, I'm gonna be so pissed off. I would never grapple with him. I would never roll with the dude. And like, if I gotta work with this dude, I'm throwing punches. He's not touching me. I'm never letting this dude touch me. He just stinks too bad. He's never touching me.
See, it's all about the money. See, if they pay their dues, they gotta stay. That's why.
I mean, my coach's thing was, you don't want him to be here, beat him up bad enough that he leaves. I'm like, all right, no problem. It took a little while, but it eventually worked. Can't remember his name. Nasty troll.
I believe it.
Let's see. Weekend wrestling, Joe. A lot of big
Yeah.
news from this week in wrestling.
Yeah.
None of the news from this week in wrestling was like shocking. Cuban Gorilla says he once did BJJ with this guy. He was sick as a dog and ended up getting sick. And that was always the worst when people come to the gym and they were sick, spreading germs around. But I used to bathe in hand sanitizer before I ever left the gym. Head to toe, just rubbing it in.
Damn.
Joe, WrestleMania is going to Saudi Arabia.
It is.
Accidentally leaked. And then it was like, hey, this is definitely happening. WWE was like, oh, we have a big announcement. You said it to me. Triple H, big announcement.
I thought it was going to be something else.
Way to do a big announcement for shit everyone already knows. Tons of, I will call it fake outrage from the wrestling community on WrestleMania going to that.
I say this. Think about this, Cuban. $250 million.
Yeah. They got $100 million for the Rumble. Saudi Arabia paid $100 million to bring the Rumble to Saudi Arabia, and then they paid $250 million to bring WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia. So here's the thing: WrestleMania is a big attraction, and places, like cities, will pay. They pay WWE money to bring the show to their city because of the revenue it'll generate from taxes, tourism, etc. I don't know if anyone knows this. Saudi Arabia is not exactly hurting for cash.
Nah. They can buy us right now.
Gorilla saw all the sad faces, all the wrestlers, up there on stage, looking a little unhappy to be there. People chalk it up to jet lag, whatever it may be. And then you get weird things that have happened throughout the announcement in Saudi Arabia. And before I get into the things that I think are a little weird, just ask you, Joe, do you think any of the outrage online from wrestling fans is legit? Like, are people really mad, or is it just something to complain about?
I'll say 50-50. We'll give 50-50. We'll say because if you think about the past history with Saudi Arabia, we'll do that 50 right there. People don't believe they should do it because history with Saudi Arabia, how they could just lock us down, take them over there, lock you. You're stuck. You ain't leaving.
You still have it's still a country that still violates a lot of human rights.
Yeah.
Still imprison journalists.
And
women really don't have a whole lot of freedom.
Yeah. And you got to think also, like you said, the freedom. You got to do certain things, dress a certain way. You can't say nothing negative or anything, or still, I don't want to see you say, we'll just say 90 days in jail, or hey, your passport been revoked. You staying here till you go to court, and court could be 5 years waiting.
So Cuban Gorilla says, do you think Vince McMahon would allow this to happen? So the Vince McMahon thing's kind of interesting. Would Vince take Mania to Saudi Arabia for $250 million? I would say probably yes.
I'll say no.
You don't think? I mean, the Saudi Arabia deal happened under Vince. I mean, the initial relationship was built under Vince McMahon.
Yeah, but I think, here's what I say. Vince knows where to put certain shows at, and not about the money.
And you may be right there. WrestleMania was sacred to Vince. There's a lot of things that TKO have done that Vince would have never done, right? Yeah. He would have never put Lolos in the ring. He would have never put Prime on the turnbuckles. So maybe Vince wouldn't have put WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. Maybe he'd have given them their own, like, the greatest WrestleMania or something silly. Maybe he wouldn't have taken the actual granddaddy of them all and done it in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I would say he wouldn't put one of the main pay-per-views over there, but he'll put a pay-per-view over there. a pay-per-view that
Vince would have done
privately-
Rumble. He would have done Rumble in Saudi for $100 million. He would have done that.
They had the greatest what was that? Greatest Royal Rumble? Or what is it called? Where they had the belt. And Vince was there for that one.
Yeah, Vince was there for the greatest Royal Rumble. Ticket prices, Cuban Gorilla. We're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Because that's another piece of this overlying theme that I'm gonna get to.
Yeah.
Man, maybe Vince wouldn't have done Mania there. You talk about the outrage of fans. I think a lot of it's just fans like to complain. No one's going to not watch WWE because WrestleMania is going to Saudi Arabia. No one's going to not watch that WrestleMania. Like, you had other outlets in the years past when the Saudi deal first happened. Your what cultures, your cultaholics, oh, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. That's probably going to get this episode pulled from YouTube because you can't mention the big red coats of YouTube negatively in the pro wrestling space, or, you get in trouble. But they were all very much, this is terrible, human rights violations, imprisoning journalists, all these things. They still covered the event, so that's nonsense. If you're outraged, don't watch it, don't cover it. Simple as that, right? TKO also talked about ticket prices, and they said something along the lines of, and I don't know if I have the quote exactly right, but it was Vince McMahon had ticket prices for families, and WWE is still not where they want it to be from a profit standpoint for ticket sales.
That is cool.
Somewhere, the verbiage was something like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that necessarily Vince's model for ticket pricing was, hey, it needs to be priced for families. But I will say I do believe pro wrestling ticket prices should be priced for families. I've said it a million times on the show. Pro wrestling should be a family affair.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to take your kids. A family of 4 should be able to go to a wrestling show and be able to do it for under $1,000. Like, it should be a thing. No one should be going in debt to go to a live wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
TKO doesn't see it that way. TKO doesn't see it that way for UFC events. Like, they think the ticket price makes it a more sought-after thing. If the ticket prices are higher, it's more elite. It's more prestigious that you got to go to the WWE show.
Mm-hmm.
In that, it's not necessarily it's a high ticket to go see this marquee name, because your full-timers aren't even full-timers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Your shows aren't really that great. Well, it sparked this early episode of our podcast today, but I told Joe it's Sunday morning. I still haven't watched SmackDown. I've seen clips.
Mm-hmm.
Our friends over at Beachside Wrestling gave this week's SmackDown a 5.5 out of 10. The clips I've seen, the things I heard were covered. I'm like, I don't think this really warrants me watching it.
Yeah. And I just said, just go by with the clips showed.
So now let's take into consideration ticket prices for that show got really increased whenever Brock was announced for it. They sold the arena out. Do you think that people who were live at SmackDown got their money's worth?
No.
I believe the lowest ticket price prior to the show, not like dead, like right, like we're gonna cut prices to get rid of our tickets, but like, a couple of days before, you weren't getting into outside of nosebleeds for under $100 per ticket without fees and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're a family of 4. It's costing you minimally $400 to attend that show on Friday night. Did anyone get a $400 show?
No.
Is there any segment of the fan base that would have seen something that happened on Friday night that had a value of $400?
Okay. Like I told you, the Brock and Truth segment, it could have been better. Phoenix and Sami Zayn match, it was decent. It was better than Drew and Brock. I mean, Drew and Randy. And you had like 20 seconds of Cody before the show went off the air. Like literally 20 seconds.
Yeah. Champion.
And
Barely on the show.
yeah, came back 20 seconds right before it went off because they had to go to the AAA. And and the women's Tiffany and Jade match that was on there too. That was
Did Tiffany get injured in that? Did she get concussed on that hit to the ground?
like she did when she hit her head on that ground when Jade moved out the way.
I seen the clip. That sounded like that hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, that one. Whew.
Was Jade supposed to be there to catch her?
That I don't know.
Just that it looked like it hurt. So with that, man, like we talk about, a family of four would have cost them $400 no matter what to go see that show, and part of that show had the value of $400. Does WWE continue to be the hot ticket for people to go see live? If you would have bought your tickets in advance, let's say they're announced a couple months out, let's say 2 months ago, you bought tickets to that episode of SmackDown, I think next week SmackDown might be in Toledo.
Yeah.
It's next week. If you had bought tickets to go see SmackDown in Toledo and the show from this past Friday was the show you got, and you spent $400, would you ever go back to a WWE live show if that was the show you received?
I probably would. I probably would. Because you got that hope. So, okay, maybe I just went on a bad day and, the next one probably be better. I probably had a little high hopes of going, yeah.
I can see it. I enjoy wrestling shows no matter what. I'm not even mad whenever I watch a bad episode necessarily. My issue today, as I said earlier in the week with WWE, is just nothing feels like I got to see it. I just don't feel like I have to see anything WWE is giving me. And again, it could just be a me problem. And I'm just getting a little jaded, so it's a good thing I'm branching out into other things. But when I watch AEW, and no, I'm not an AEW shill, but AEW, it's just stuff I don't see. I haven't seen it before. Like, SmackDown opened with R-Truth and Brock Lesnar. I have seen this before, and just a few months ago, they told me we weren't doing the R-Truth character anymore, and we were getting Ron Killings. We were getting something serious.
Oh.
And then we just don't do it.
Speaking of which, since you brought that up, in that segment, he did like a switcheroo of R-Truth into the Ron Killings.
So I get it, and they've done that a few times with him and Aleister Black, right? They've done that little switcheroo, like, how you gonna tell me who I'm supposed to... Okay, I guess. Maybe we're dealing with a little bit of a split personality kind of character, but we're not. He's doing R-Truth with a little bit of angry moments here and there. It's the same character, and it's not a knock on Truth. R-Truth is a friend of the show. Truth has shared our things. Pretty fantastic. Pretty big moment when R-Truth started following the Don't Say the F Word podcast, right? I'd rather see what he could do with the Ron Killings character. As much as I enjoy the R-Truth character, God, everybody knows I love comedy in my wrestling. I was excited to see what he was going to do, and I didn't get it.
Yeah. But I can say this about the ticket prices. I can tell you. So, over the weekend, I was watching a lot of shows, reels, podcasts about the ticket prices. And apparently, they said even with inflation, ticket price wouldn't be where it is right now if it wasn't for TKO.
Absolutely. It's a corporation. They're focused on profits, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, I just brought up Bleacher Report to just kind of see how they graded SmackDown.
I'm afraid of that.
Bleacher Report gave the Brock Lesnar promo an F.
I told you it could have been better. See, told you it could have been better.
I'm shocked. You mentioned the Sami Zayn match was good. Him versus Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix is so great. I think he could have been AEW World Champion. Missed opportunity. They gave that a B+. That's probably fair. BFAB versus Julia got a C-. Tiffany versus Jade got a B. I'm going to assume that was pretty generous.
Nah, it was pretty. That was pretty good match. To that little
Randy versus Drew got a B. Overall, they gave SmackDown a C-. So our friends over at Beachside Wrestling giving it a 5.5 out of 10. Bleach Report gives it a C-. All in all, I think that seems pretty on par with each other. I think everyone's in unison. Not a great SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. I told you it wasn't that. That segment, it could have been better because only thing that was good about it was Brock ripped his pants, which I wasn't expecting to see that. But you heard how they were going back and forth at each other. It just sounded like, let's get what's it. My kid and one of her friends in the car and talking about who's ugly. That's how it was.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what rights the ship for WWE at the moment for me as a fan. I'm not excited about Raw ever. I don't know the last time I was said, hey, that was a great episode of SmackDown. I don't care to see WrestlePalooza at all. I'll watch it, but man, I don't care about anything happening.
Yes, and also they announced that within that 20 seconds of Cody, I'll see you at WrestlePalooza. That was it.
Did you catch Collision last night?
I did.
What'd you think of Collision?
It was good. It was pretty good. It was good. It had little ups and downs moments, but it was still, although I'd say it was good B. It was good B. It was good.
Yeah, I thought Collision was a good show.
And then they got how they had the little promo package about Hangman and Fletcher. That was good how they put that together.
We had Mark Briscoe announce that him and MJF Trunk's gonna miss WrestlePalooza. I don't think you're gonna miss a lot. We had Collision last night. We had MJF started the show by belittling Briscoe, which he had already done on Twitter by calling out Andrade, which Andrade is gone from WWE. But the stipulation for Briscoe and MJF is going to be a tables and thumbtacks match. Oh. Interesting. I've never heard of a tables and thumbtacks match, so.
I thought it was a thumbtack match.
Then we had Tashida defeating Anthony Bowens for the Unified Championship Eliminator. Mm-hmm. So Tashida moves on. We had the Triangle of Madness, just Penelope Ford, Megan Bayne, and Chris Statlander versus Jamie Hayter, Harley Cameron, and TJ. And then it's big brawl after the match. No big deal. Max Caster did an open challenge. Big Bill answered it and put him away in just over 2 minutes. 3 minutes and 6 seconds was left on the clock. Mm-hmm. This resulted in Bowens and Caster getting into a fight backstage, which then led them into the ring for Jerry Lynn to attempt to reunite them and break up their fight.
Yeah. Oh, you forgot one more thing.
What I miss?
Big Bill called out Eddie Kingston.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Eddie Kingston's going to be back. I'm excited for the Mad King. I like Eddie Kingston. and I want to be a huge fan of Eddie Kingston. I will give him shit for looking like everyone's drunk uncle. One thing I love about Eddie Kingston is he doesn't know pro wrestling's a work. He believes everything he does, and we desperately need that on our wrestling right now. But circle back to the show. Jerry Lynn working to reunite the Acclaimed.
I can see it. I knew it. When I see him back there in that segment talking to Anthony, he said, "You need someone." And I knew that's what's gonna do it. Bring back the Acclaim.
How do you feel about them bringing back the Acclaimed?
They better as a tag team. To tell you the truth.
Think so?
I say this.
I thought they were both doing good
They were
as
doing
singles
good.
guys.
They were doing good as singles guys. But Max, the greatest wrestler alive gimmick,
It's getting over. It's over.
It's getting over, but he just on a. Hasn't he won it yet? I don't even know if he won a match.
I don't think he's won any of them. I don't think he's beat anybody.
I think he. No, wait. Him and Anthony, they had like a draw, so I think that counts as him winning.
But then Bowens beat the snot out of him.
Yeah.
Upon his return. I thought the 5-tool player thing for Bowens was pretty cool. The pride of pro wrestling. Part of me feels that way because I influenced the change of the logo. Because the original logo looked like STP, so I reached out to Shane Taylor and let him know, hey, oh my God.
Yeah, right.
So those of you who aren't live on Instagram, our boy Trunks said he had a dream that Bubba Ray Dudley delivered his DoorDash. If it weren't for those WWE checks coming in for him bashing AEW, Bubba Ray Dudley probably would be delivering DoorDash. Just gonna throw that out there. But man, I thought the 5-tool player for Bowens was good.
It was good, but did you look?
I did like the Acclaim though. I enjoyed them as a tag team.
They need some more tag teams, and they claim they were good as a tag team. And like I said, there are certain tag teams that can just break up and go their separate ways, and then there are some that are great just as a tag team.
Speaking of great tag teams, FTR defeated Adam Priest and Tom Billington last night in their rematch. FTR has been on fire doing some stuff, post-match, pre-match. They're having a good run with Stokely Hathaway. That match was incredible. Then we had Okada defeating Michael Oku to retain the AEW Unified Championships. That match confused me a little bit. Great
confusing.
I didn't understand why it was happening. If you're having an eliminator tournament to face Okada, where you're going to get Tashida versus Okada, inevitably, I would imagine. What the hell did Michael Oku do to earn that title shot? What did he do? How did he get that title shot?
He won that match on Dynamite, because that's when they started the triple threat, whatever you want to call it.
Is that how he got? Okay. I'm thinking to myself, if I was Tashida, I'd be pissed. Why do I got to do this whole tournament to get a shot at Okada, and Michael Oku just gets one?
Yeah, so Dynamite, Collision, then the next one is going to be this Dynamite. So then the third winner will be on that 3-hour show the following week.
All right.
So that's how you got the little triple threat for the unified title, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I thought Collision was good. Matches were great. I think the build toward Bowens and Caster getting back together is a good build. I just don't know that it was needed for either guy.
It happens. Like I said, every tag team can just split up and break, but you just know the ones that just gotta stay together. And until they find their good solo career, how to make themselves better, they're good as a tag team.
Okay. question. And is Shawn Michaels returning for WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia? He says absolutely not.
Michael
Just
said.
he said no. He's
Michael,
getting both. He is getting both knees replaced in a month, but he said he is not returning to the ring.
he said no amount of money could get him back in that ring. He said he's doing fine, doing what he's doing right now, being the coach and the head writer of NXT, so he's fine.
Do you believe this?
Yeah. Shawn Michaels.
You know they'll back up the Brinks truck. Like they allegedly want a lot of legends. They want The Rock.
They want Undertaker.
Roman versus The Rock or Roman versus Cody.
Yeah.
They want Austin.
Look, I say this.
They may want them to somehow get Hogan out of the grave and have him wrestle.
And they want John Cena as well.
Mm-hmm.
I say this. Shawn Michaels at the stage of life where they could toss $10 million, and he knows his body more than we do. If he says no to $10 million, they'll tell you. He's not rejecting the offer. He just knows he can't put on a good show like he did 10, 15 years ago at WrestleMania.
Of the rumored legends that they want, this is all rumors and speculation, who do you think, from a legend status, will be at that WrestleMania and wrestle?
I would say Stone Cold drive the four-wheeler down to the ring, get somebody Stone Cold Stunner.
That's not wrestling. That's not a match. I think Austin will appear, but I don't think Austin has a match. Do you think The Rock has a match? Do we get Rock Roman in Saudi Arabia?
We don't get no legends. They'll just pop up and appear.
I think Rock Roman is the only somewhat realistic possibility, but I don't think it will happen. I think you'll get a lot of legends appearing, but I don't think you'll get legends in matches.
I'll just say, like I said, the only one that could seem makes sense, Stone Cold driving down with the four-wheeler.
I'm going to make a prediction today, and I hope someone writes it down.
Okay.
I think WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia will be an exact point you can put a pin and say this begins the steep decline of WWE's product and viewership. Because I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say this is going to be one of the worst WrestleManias in 10 years, excluding COVID WrestleManias.
Okay.
I think WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia is going to be terrible. I think it's going to be chock full of advertisements. I think it's going to be chock full of promo appearances and cameos and barely any matches. I bet across 2 nights we get 7 matches.
I don't think they're going to do 2 nights. I think they're just going to do one whole night.
They could be one. Regardless, I don't think it's going to be a great WrestleMania. I think it's going to be legend appearances and nostalgia acts. I'd be remiss if we didn't mention AAA real quick before we call it a show.
Okay.
AAA Worlds Collide happened this week. Dominic Mysterio became AAA's mega champion to a thunderous ovation from the crowd. We've seen Dr. Wagner Jr. Retain his AAA Latin American Championship. Psycho Clown and Pagana versus New Day, which was included Grayson Waller and Kofi. Woods had to have surgery for AAA titles. Natalia had a match. All these other things don't matter. Honestly, I'm naming off a bunch of shit that doesn't matter. There was a mixed tag match, which generally I hate, but this one involved puppets, and I thought that was fantastic. Everything else about the match sucked. But if we're going to eventually get Finn Balor versus Mr. Iguana, both of them using their puppets, I'm here for it. Sign me up.
Like I said, it's going to be the next AAA.
I think so. But I thought Worlds Collide was a good show. I think Dom winning the title helps add an element to Raw that I'm actually interested in. Now, what does Dom and Finn Balor's relationship look like? Dom's going to become more egotistical.
Yeah.
It's Sunday. It's our weekend wrestling show, Joe. Last week we made a decision. I no longer get to name a wrestler of the week. That is all Joe's responsibility, and it is on me to give out our Match of the Week award. So, Joe, I will let you go first. Who was your wrestler of the week?
All right. I was going to give the Dirty Dom. But
I thought you might give it to Dom.
I was going to give the Dirty Dom. I was. But I'm giving it to two people as the wrestler of the week. And it is the two that fought against FTR this last night at Collision. Yes.
Adam Priest and Tommy Billington?
Yes. I'm saying this because of one reason. Why we're dealing with fresh face that nobody knows about. And after last night, the moves, the momentum they had in the match against FTR, they pulled it out strong. And
Adam Priest hitting that tornado DDT off
Priest,
the turnbuckle to the outside.
That right there did it right there. I can't figure out what his name was. But yeah, him. When he did that move, like, ooh, I had to hit the replay for that one. Because that one, ooh, that was perfect, y'all. I'm just saying.
This is crazy to me, bro. Because you know what my match of the week is?
What's up?
FTR versus Adam Priest and Tommy Billington. For the record, guys, we didn't talk about this. We didn't share this. There's no conversation had between me and Joe, but that's my match of the week. Really thought it was going to be take your pick of things from AAA, honestly. But, yeah, FTR, Tommy Billington. That's just one of my favorite styles of a tag team match. Hard-hitting, aggressive. Really, just that was match of the week.
Man, I just saw that in two in the ring, and then that tornado outside the ring. Like, ooh, that just hit right there. Like, bam, here we go. I said, ain't no way he gonna pick this. Ain't no way nobody will believe I picked these two. But I picked them.
Will tell you that I do believe that was the only match that happened this week that got an A rating from Bleacher Report as well.
Oh wow!
So I think we were on par. But that's it. Weekend wrestling show early on a Sunday morning, Joe. I think we took them to church.
You did.
I think that was a good show. Y'all make sure you wear deodorant whenever you go to wrestling shows. If you're looking to get in shape, lose that dad bod, go to purefighting.com. Promo code Don't Say the F Word. You can save yourself 10%. I believe it's 10%. I'm thinking it's 10%. I think I remember it right. I believe our promo code does say 10%. And go check out Virtual Reality Combat on Instagram, soon to be on YouTube. Full Fight is up. My commentary. We'll see what we can do to further this relationship with Virtual Reality Combat. But till tomorrow, we'll preview Raw. We'll play a game of For When the Bell Tolls. See if we are ever giving away a shirt.
Hold on. Don't Raw start at 7 tomorrow?
Does it really?
Ain't that 7 tomorrow?
Somebody let us know in the comments. Raw might be 7 tomorrow, so tomorrow's live show may be kind of early. So make sure you're following us live on Instagram so you know when we're going live to talk about Raw. Until tomorrow.
All right.
Big J, Uncle Joe, we're out.